Memphis Center, Cessna 4952 Bravo is ready for departure runway 36. Roger, Cessna 3952 Bravo, you're clear for departure runway 36. Maintain runway heading, climb out 3,000 feet. One pilot reports turbulence at 3,000, and also a report of a show called In Tune viewing tonight. Be sure and tune in and watch that.
Hi, welcome to In Tune. I'm McNeil Hopper.
And I'm Melissa Waldron. Welcome to the show. What do we got going today?
We have an interview with David Appleby. He went to
oh, he just got back from South America, didn't he?
South America.
That's right.
And
he wandered in the studio today.
Partnerships of the Americas, and he had some neat things to say
about film projects and stuff that he does down there.
Yeah.
And we also have environmental artist today who's very creative. Her works are spread throughout the university.
She does a nature thing, kind of an environmental thing.
I'm sure you've seen it if you walked to class.
Yeah.
We also have the Academy Awards.
We have the Academy Awards. We went out and got some responses to the Academy Awards, their likes and dislikes. It was very good.
I think they're pretty boring myself. But,
yeah, there's a lot of hype, but you gotta deal with that. It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood. And we also have a talk with Ray and TJ today who talks about the sports. As usual.
Baseball is in full swing, and they are keeping us
Is it baseball season already?
Baseball season already. I know you're not a sports person.
No, not really.
But I love baseball. It's the all-American sport. So stay tuned. We're coming at you.
Mr. Apple Pie.
Basically, the problem was there was no
They should tear
advertising.
down
Nobody knew
the building that they built, the executive center, and build a parking lot.
Intriguing.
Monster film.
You know the goal July?
The what? Very well done.
And we can just learn from each other.
Yeah, I saw the Academy Awards. I thought they were great. I mean, there's definitely some hype there, but I mean, as far as the awards themselves, they went well. I mean, politically, I don't think there's anything involved. I mean, the people who won should have won. I think probably Spike Lee should have gotten something for maybe just a screenplay, but I didn't like all the language in this film. Yeah, but overall, I think it was good. Did you see Julia Roberts' dress? Yeah, it was neat. Yeah. Oh, you did see it? You did see it? Hold on a second. I can't hear you. Well, what did you think?
I thought that they made some excellent choices. And I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to see all the movies that were made this past season, but in fact, Driving Miss Daisy was top on my list to see, but I never did get around to it because Morgan Freeman is a favorite of mine, and definitely Jessica Tandy is a superb actress, always has been. So, but they made some excellent choices.
Yeah, it helps to promote a great deal of the sensitivity to the performance of actors, the effort and energy which goes into it, and it's pretty good at gauging the public's response as to how well they like the performance of certain actors or actresses. So you get a great deal of public hoopla, and it keeps the public interested. I think it does serve some kind of function that gives the average Joe Blow an opportunity to vent his feelings or frustrations regarding what they see in the motion picture industry, TV, or in music.
I'm kind of interested in who won, but I really don't respect the opinions a lot because a lot of times the people that I think should win don't.
Well, it's just, it's so unique, and it happens only once a year, so it's kind of like any other annual event, it's just something that it takes you a year to get over the last one, but once it arrives again, it's interesting.
Getting an Oscar, I mean, that's a big deal, but they hype it up to where it's just, I think it's anticlimactic when they actually have it, and people sit there and go, well, or it's not as big as it was.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like at one time it was more like a traditional thing that people look forward to each year. Now it's more like like the Super Bowl's been made more into a media event than a sports event.
How much hype did it get? I don't pay any attention to that at all. But probably not. I think people probably take it too seriously. But it's just a bunch of people having fun.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Just a bunch of people having fun.
And Daniel Day-Lewis won for Best Actor, so that has to mean something.
My Left Foot.
I saw Glory, so I thought that Denzel Washington was deserving.
Like My Left Foot.
Kim Basinger was pretty drunk. Thought that was pretty interesting. Besides that, I didn't watch it.
My Left Foot.
Although Do the Right Thing should have gotten something more.
Spike Lee didn't win any awards, but he's a young face in the crowd, and I'm sure he'll be winning awards.
Sexualizing videotape, that's interesting. It's sort of a taboo movie, and it's almost porn, but not quite.
Overall, it's like the man said at the end of the CNN report, he says, "You remember who won last year?" So it really doesn't matter.
Hi, I'm Melissa Waldron. Welcome to the interview section. Today, David Appleby from the Department of Theater and Communication Arts has happened to stop by in our studio today. Hi, David.
Hello.
What do you want to talk about South America, don't you?
No.
Yes, you do. You just got back from South America, right?
Yeah, I did. I just got back from Venezuela.
And what was that all about?
Well, we were invited down there for the Maracaibo Arts Festival, where I showed some films and did some workshops with the film students there, and did some business with a group I'm a member of called Partners of the Americas.
Partners in, what is that?
Partners of the Americas was started under the old Kennedy administration. I say the old Kennedy administration as if there was a new Kennedy administration. It was part of the Alliance for Progress, which John Kennedy started in the 1960s in order to help the underdeveloped peoples of Latin America. He had this philosophy that if we didn't help them, that we would not later be able to help ourselves. And what he meant by that was if people fall too low below the poverty level, that eventually they would create some kind of revolution and come to get what it is we have. And so for very altruistic reasons, he said, well, we better help these people down there. And so he tried a number of ways to do that. One was the Peace Corps, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And another is Partners of the Americas. And what Partners does is it sets up states of the U.S. or portions of states within the U.S. and connects them with countries or portions of countries in Latin America, including Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. And in case you didn't know this, Tennessee is partners with Venezuela and Amazonas, Brazil.
Tennessee's involved in this, huh? Wow.
Yeah, in a big way.
That's great. And so how long have you been on this board for?
Well, I'm on the board of the Tennessee Partners of the Americas, but I've been involved with Partners as a group, the national group, for about 4 years. A woman 4 years ago.
Is this going to be a long story?
Yes, and it's still a story about Partners. Okay. Came into my office and asked me if I was interested in doing some consulting in South America. Well, I said, sure, send me a ticket. And that's exactly what happened. The ticket arrived, and I left. And I did some consulting with the television stations in Venezuela and their training programs, and gotten more involved with this partnership. And through the partnership, I eventually got a Kellogg Fellowship in International Development, which was nice because the cornflakes people sent me all over South America and Guatemala, you know, pushing cornflakes. And
to sell cornflakes down there?
Yeah, Central America, South America, the Caribbean. This is what I was doing. And that got me more involved in other kinds of projects, including a video project, which I was bringing video cameras down to Venezuela to be used as a kind of a free access center, much as we have cable access here. This would be a grassroots developmental kind of center for the use of video equipment. And that's underway now, and I go down now and then to check on its progress.
And that's what you were doing
there. Which has
there.
been slow, by the way.
Slow progress. Well, do you have clips?
Oh, yeah, I brought a clip. I'm pushing my latest slideshow.
The slide? All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. What
if we roll them, I'll see what.
Okay, let's look at the monitor. All right.
Okay. This is a picture of some mountains and some water. Yeah. This is Guatemala. This is Lake Atitlan. I happen to have some pictures of Guatemala in my office. That's why they're being highlighted here rather than Venezuela, which Tennessee is partners of. But
yeah,
this just shows you how pretty it is down there.
How picturesque it really is.
It really is, yes.
It's breathtaking.
It's a nice vacation spot.
Why are you showing me this?
Well, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Here's a street scene down there in Guatemala. You can see how colorful it is. Guatemalan textiles are just gorgeous. I mean, if you just walk around, although the people are generally impoverished in many of these areas, you can't help but have these conflicting feelings of, my, how beautiful it all is. And then you can just get a little bit of that flavor. You can go to the next.
What is that?
This picture is being taken actually on some church steps in a little town called Chichicastenango in the mountains of Guatemala. And I happened to arrive on market day. And
this is what they do on market day?
Well, this is just a gathering of people, and you can sort of see the costumes there. It's not as clear here as it might be on slide. Let's go to the next one. And there's some nice
Is that you?
costumes. No, that's not me. That is, in fact, in acting out, a certain day of the year, the Indians get together and dress up in costumes and reenact the arrival of the conquistadores, the Spanish, who came and killed most of their ancestors.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
Well, more to the point, excuse me. This is a farm cooperative. Much of what we're involved in down there in Latin America are in development projects. In other words, how are underdeveloped peoples going to become more developed? And there's all sorts of ways to do that. One way is to give lots of money and expect it to trickle down, which is much of what the U.S. does. And the other thing is to work from the grassroots level and work your way up. This is a grassroots project where people have been lent money in order to start a farm cooperative.
Are these some of the people you worked with?
Yeah, and here you see some of my colleagues talking with these campesinos, which are
you?
Partners.
I don't
taking
see you
the
down
picture.
there. You are.
Yeah, so you have to assume I'm there, although
you're just the invisible
behind
man.
the camera.
Okay.
Right, here we are talking to these farmers about their various problems.
It's very interesting to me.
Here are some of the kids, and I'm very enthralled by the kids down there because their whole attitude, and I don't know if you can see it in their faces here, they're much more mature than children here. The last picture is coming up, if you want to take the
That is the last. Oh no, this is the last one.
You can see this is a very common sight to see like a 5-year-old kid taking care of his 2-year-old brother and just holding them all day. And one of the things I said to a farmer down there, in fact, the farmer that you just saw in the picture earlier, I said, "It seems to me that your kids know so much more about life than children do in the U.S." And he said, "No, they don't know more about life. They know more about work." And put me in my place.
Do you work a lot with kids down there? I mean.
I like to. I converse a lot with kids because my Spanish is so terrible that I'm much more able to talk with kids than I am with adults.
So how can people get more involved in this program?
And if the people want to get involved in Partners of the Americas, and I really hope that they do, and these are not necessarily people who have wonderful Spanish skills or have done a lot of traveling in Latin America, but if you're interested in international development or cultural exchanges or being part of it in terms of maybe coming to a reception for a guest from Latin America or putting people up in your home when they come here, or just being involved in any way, they can contact me here at Memphis State. And we'd be glad to send them some application materials of some kind.
We can contact you, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can call the show here.
That'll work. Well, we have to go, David. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I'm sorry we won't be able to talk about all those other interesting things we had in mind.
There's so many other interesting aspects to your life, David.
Yeah, I know.
Stop by the studio some other time.
I'd love to.
All right. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for sticking with us today. I'll see you later. Hi, I'm Melissa Waldron. Welcome to the applause section. We have with us Alberta Macaulay Pearson, who is I refer to as an environmental artist. How are you, Alberta?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
Is that a correct terminology, environmental artist? Is that how you see yourself?
I'm a sculptor. I work in the environment, and I'm concerned about the environment. But so that's an
well, your work reflects that. I mean,
yes.
We've all seen your work around campus. It's what do you call that? I mean,
well, some people call it antagonistic.
Antagonistic?
But I just call it a series of gentle obstacles.
Gentle obstacles. Obstacles for what? I mean, what is?
Well, I stretch these pieces across rutted, eroded pathways, and they present obstacles, but not obstacles that are ferocious or death-defying or anything. You can walk through them, in them, step on them. A lot of people do that. Smush, yes. A lot of them join in the procedure with smushing and stamping them down, but I gear them to make you look at their location across these eroded, gutted pathways. People walk on them and make them look worse. I try to call it to their attention.
So you do most of your work with nature. I mean, a lot of your earlier work also concerns nature too, doesn't it? I saw we have some slides of these beautiful shots, these overlooking shots you took in an airplane. Why don't we take a look at the slides right now and just look at the monitor and you can explain them to us. But you have some what is that, for instance?
Well, that's in a pond, vines in a pond, and I hung clay and plaster heads in gauze cheesecloth and hung them in the water and let the water rising and dropping and react on them. And one of the...
What does it do and react?
Well, stains them, discolors them, some of them would go under the water. Now this is one of my first stone pieces, and it's Trail of the Quapaw. And I try to think about what's happened in that area. In this area, Indians lived in this area, the Quapaw and the Caddo Indians.
The Indians.
And they're now gone. And these were their hunting grounds out in the...
So this represents like...
And this is a night shot of that.
The emptiness or the...
Well, it's Trail of the Quapaw. It's going nowhere. It's disappeared. It just goes into nothing. But it's a memory thing. And I used rotted out sump holes, lined them with white rocks, and the rocks of the area I just sorted and stacked around and around, used part of the trees as part of my design.
Now what is this?
This is my first very big piece of rock art.
We're looking at a rock right now?
We're looking at stacks of rocks, a wall of rocks. Do you see that little roadway there? That's
a road. Now, is this an aerial shot?
This is an aerial shot of my first large stone piece. And the piece started in a pond and came up to a road. I'd looked at Carl Andre's minimalist work and liked Sea Cant, which was just a row of 12 by 24-foot blocks of wood out across a hillside. But this is my interpretation of minimal art.
Are these rocks also?
These are rocks also on hummocks. I used the topography of the land, and there were these 3 adjoining hummocks that I circled with stones and built totems in the center. And I call this one Circles, Cycles, speaking of the circles and cycles of women's lives. And we did a night shot of that. This one I call Timeline, Lifeline. Each leg of it is about 60 yards long, and each leg is a different width. You can't see the whole piece from there, you just see the starburst from the air.
Now, where are these taken at? Where is this?
Well, this is in Arkansas, in Saline County, out in a big cow pasture. This one is Medicine Wheel. And I couldn't see my butterfly in the center until I went up in the airplane.
Oh, it's a butterfly.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, the trees, the shadows
cover it. Tree shadows cover it.
Oh.
And then this is
the night shot?
Night shot of Medicine Wheel.
Ah.
Friends walked with flashlights at night in time exposure.
And
this is part of my master's thesis show at University of Arkansas in Little Rock.
Okay.
Sticks and Stones and Strong Women.
Huh. You know, those pieces kind of remind me of the things you see in Peru from long ago, when the big ground pieces, the spiders, and reminds me of that. It's very ancient.
When I first started the work, I wasn't familiar with that, and my teachers pointed it out to me, and I said, well, I like that idea. And there's a mystery about my work, as there is a mystery in the pieces in Peru. Grass gradually grows over the pieces, and they gradually disappear, but there's still this line that's not a natural line. There's something that was changed from nature.
Well, we need to look at what you're doing now. We have a videotape of your current work that people see all over campus today, and if you want to talk about what gave you this idea? I mean, what made you think about this?
Well, a few years ago, I had worked in a class in environmental site-specific work, and I worked with tree limbs and out in the woods. So I like driftwood, and this is driftwood. I like the bleached bone look of it. It looks like bones.
This is normal, everyday driftwood.
Normal, everyday driftwood. Most of this came from the Arkansas and the Mississippi rivers, and I just make ropes of it and then hang it from the trees, and the trees are wood too, but these bleached bone effects of the driftwood make it stand out from the growing wood, and it's something that is natural, but not natural. It's out of its own environment, actually, but it could be from this environment. But
these are the obstacles you were talking about?
This is one of my series of gentle obstacles, and looking at the environment, I put these across eroded pathways. And
why? I mean, what?
To call attention to the eroded pathways. Now, these aren't dangerous. You can walk through them, around them. It's kind of a game. There are secret pathways through this piece. And every day the pieces change.
Wow, look at that. I've noticed that you moved you kind of migrate across campus with this. What do people say? What do people have to say about this? Do they say, why are you doing this? What is this? I mean,
well, they do. They say that. What is this? And I say, it's my environmental, site-specific, and sculpture piece. And some kick and stomp and don't know what it is, but then when they find out what it is, then they're respectful of it. But they thought it was a psychology experiment to see how many pieces people knock down, you know, that the site can have. But I soon explained to them that I would put a hex on them and dire things would happen to their body if they don't know.
It's certainly an unusual piece, that's for sure. And I'm glad that you had time to share it with us today. We have to go. We have to wrap up. But thank you for being with us. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it myself.
Okay.
Come along.
Good. Well, thanks for being with us, and stay tuned for more In Tune.
There goes underneath to Jenkins. Ball stripped away by McLaughlin. Nice defense. Here comes Elliott. 3-on-1. McLaughlin gets it, lays it up. It's good. Fouled. Count the basket.
Hello and welcome again to Sports Talk and In Tune. I'm Ray Gladwell along with TJ Rees. And TJ, unfortunately, your loyal Marymount squad did not make it to the Final Four.
Oh, well, hey, I was 2 out of 4. I guess that's 500 in baseball. It's worth something.
Yeah, that's Hall of Fame, but not in basketball.
Not in basketball. Hey, well, it's going to be a good Final Four, though, and Loyola Marymount had a good run. So who knows?
It's just unfortunate that Georgia Tech and UNLV have to play each other in the first round. I'd like to see that as possible, a final matchup. I think that would have been a heck of a game. But
I think the Duke-Arkansas game is going to be just as good a ball game. You got the Duke team that loves to slow it down, work it inside, and the Arkansas team likes to run and gun. You got two good matchups, and I can't say that's going to be a bad Final Four. Not at all.
I think you got the best teams in there. You got UNLV, and everybody's picking them as the favorite. So we'll have to wait and see. But let's talk Memphis State athletics, and let's go to the schedules. TJ, women's golf.
Women's golf, the Lady Jags Invitational at Furman University. You see the dates there on your screen, and that's in Greenville, South Carolina, the women's golf team. In action April 6th and the 7th.
The men's golf team, the 6th through the 8th, the Jerry Pate Invitational. In Pensacola, Florida. I'd always think that would take place in Tuscaloosa since he graduated from Alabama, but what do I know?
Who knows? Men's tennis, they're 5-7 on the season. Well, there you can see the schedule on your screen there. April 7th at UALR and April 8th at UT Martin, and 2 road games.
And men's track, the outdoor season is underway April the 7th. The ASU, that's Arkansas State University, if you didn't know. Classic in Jonesboro, Arkansas, just up the road a piece.
And baseball, 19-8 after the win yesterday over Southwest Missouri State, a game which the Tigers had wrapped up but rallied to win. They have 3 road games coming up this week at Tennessee Tech, at Virginia Tech, and at Virginia Tech again. Of course, you got 3-game series there. Metro Conference matchup. Tigers are now, I believe, what, 4-2 in the Metro, or is it 5-2?
4-2 in the Metro Conference, and the Virginia Tech series can be heard on WSMS FM 92. I will be jetting over there to do that. Yeah, that was good.
They didn't get to see that.
They didn't get to see that.
Jetting. But yeah, we carry all the games on WSMS.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to Cookeville, sorry. You know, that's like in the
Like I said, we carry all games but the one in Cookeville.
Not the Cookeville series, sorry. I didn't lose anything in Cookeville, so I'm not going to Cookeville. Okay, hey, let's talk about the baseball season. We've got, what, about 80% of the spring training games still to take place before the opening day. Contest around the National American League. Who do you like?
Well, do we have to tell who we like now?
You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Right.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm not holding you a gun to your head or anything.
I'll tell you who we like. All right, let's see. American League East, I'll take the Red Sox. American League West, I'll take the A's.
Ooh, out on a limb there.
Well, National League East, I'll take the Cardinals.
Oh, come on, you're
National
crazy.
League West, no, I won't take the Cardinals. I'll take the Mets. National League West, I'll take the San Diego Padres.
Okay, in the East, in the American League East, I like the Cleveland Indians. Yes, Bob Hope, they're doing it for him this year. I feel it. In the American League West, I like the A's the Royals with their pitching staff, with all the people they've got. Hey, I don't see them losing a game with that pitching staff. But then again, they're not going to go 162-0.
I don't think so.
In the National League East, I like the Mets, and in the National League West, I'm going to have to stay with the Giants. Even though I have to agree the Padres will be tough.
Padres are tough with the addition of Joe Carter in the offseason, and the Cardinals are going to be a better team. I don't know about their pitching staff, though. You got
so many people hurt already before the season started.
You got Bryn Smith and
you got
John Tudor and Ricky Horton. I don't know about that. But then again, last year they didn't have much pitching last year. They were in it to the final month, so we'll see what happens.
has a lot to do with that.
We have a lot to do with that. And the first month of the season is going to be helter-skelter anyway. Of course, they rejected the proposal to have the 27-man roster, and that's going to hurt pitching staffs. We're going to find out who the good managers are. We'll
Turning quickly to college football, the draft coming up in April.
Draft coming up in April, and my Buccaneers better take Emmitt Smith. If they're watching right now, Number 4 pick, Emmitt Smith. Ray Perkins, number 4, Emmitt Smith, if he's there. He's going to take
the underclassmen are making a difference. Number 1
he's
pick.
He's going to take Blair Thomas, but
Derek Thomas ought to be the number 1 pick. I don't think there's any doubt, don't you?
You're talking about Keith McCants.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Derek Thomas plays for the Chiefs now.
That's right. Keith,
that's right.
He could go back in the draft. Well, Keith McCants will probably be the number 1 pick.
Alabama linebackers.
I think Andre Ware or Jeff George will be the 2 pick by the Jets, and then Blair Thomas will probably be the 3 pick by New England, and then hopefully the Bucs will take Emmitt Smith number 4. We'll see what happens.
Subliminal messages going now to
that's right.
Ray Perkins, so he won't make the mistake.
Emmitt Smith. I think he's
Broderick Thomas, you know, when did he ever do it?
He hasn't panned out yet, and of course most rookies haven't either. But like you said, it's a very deep draft with the underclassmen coming out. That's coming up in about 3 weeks.
Oh, it's hard to believe, but football, yes, we're talking about it in April. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sports Talking in Tune. For TJ Rees, I'm Ray Gladwell. We'll be back right after this for some more In Tune.
If you like the kids films, you'll love
That about closes it up for today.
Did you go to the environmental conference this week?
I went, and I wasn't impressed. I was impressed with the speakers. I was impressed with the hoopla and Earth Day and all that stuff. But as much fun as we have around here and kidding around and all that, I think that it's time for people to get involved. I mean, it starts with you. It starts with planting a tree.
How are you getting involved?
I planted a dogwood in my yard the other day, and I've tried to buy the right foods and try not to contaminate the environment and recyclable paper and all that stuff. And I think that a lot of people aren't doing their part, and it starts with you. So let's by the time we get back next week and show In Tune, I think somebody needs to do their part to get involved in it. What do you think?
Well, that sounds like good advice.
Words of inspiration.
Words of wisdom from him.
Yes.
The environmentalist.
Stay tuned next time.